Hello and welcome to this really super cute little quick make along with Emma. So today I'm going to show you how to make one of these really cute little egg cozies, just using bits of leftover stash and little bits of wool or cotton that you've got left over from other projects. It took me about 10 minutes to make one of these, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Each one weighs about 7 grams, so you really don't need very much yarn at all, and you can use a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I've got various different odds and leftovers of DK double knit yarn that I've used for other projects, mostly blanket making. And what you'll need with you today to make one of these little egg cozies, you will need a fork. Yes, I haven't left my dinner on the tray. A fork, a crochet hook. I use a 3.5mm crochet hook when I'm using double knit. Depends on your tension. You can use a 3 or a 4, doesn't really matter too much, but 3.5, I like the finish that gives. That works for my tension. I need a darning needle just to sew in my ends and to help me make my pom pom, and a pair of scissors for snipping. So let's get started. Okay, so this little egg cozy, so it's like a little bobble hat, and it will just pop. I'll show you on this egg here. Just pop on your egg like that. Okay, really cute, really quick. You can also pop the chocolate egg in if you wanted. Okay, so to start with, I'm using UK terms, so we're going to make a magic ring. I think I'm going to do yellow because I haven't done a yellow one yet. So I start by making, let me just move some of these things out of the way so we've got a bit of space so you can see what I'm doing. Move all my things away. It's like a Kim's game is this. I don't know if you're old enough or you've ever played a Kim's game, know what one of those is. I think I'm going to keep my chocolate eggs actually. Keep my chocolate eggs there just in case. I don't have time to eat them, but I'm not going to put those away. Right, pop that there. So Kim's game, if you've ever played a Kim's game, everything's on the tray and you have to try and work out what's been taken away. Anyway, so I've just got my ball of wool, look now, and my crochet hook, which is a 3.5mm. So I'm going to start by making a magic ring or a slip knot. So I loop it over and pull it through like that. So I've got a nice little ring, and if you pull the tail, look, it makes it smaller. So I'm going to work into the ring. That's the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to start by chaining 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do 11 trebles into my ring, so I'll end up with the equivalent of 12 stitches, because my first lot of 3, my 3 chains counts as the first stitch. Okay, so to do a treble, yarn over through the loop, bring one back up, through 2, through the last 2, yarn over, through the loop, pull the loop back through, so I've got 3 on my hook, and back through. So just going to go all the way around doing UK trebles, 11 of them in total. So I'll try and keep count as I'm going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are really, really addictive and really quite cute. I think I can see my kitchen having lots of eggs hidden underneath little bobble hats. We also put one on my water bottle actually the other day. That looked quite funny. Thinking bottles of wine as well, you could put them on. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think that's right. No, one more. Counting my 3 chains. Okay. So when you've got your 11 trebles in, pull your tail so it pulls that magic circle tight. That's why it's magic, look. Makes a lovely neat little hole. So I'm going to join my circle, so my last stitch, this into the top of my chain 3 underneath my loop there. So it's the top of that chain 3, so that's the first stitch. So my next round is going to be exactly the same. Okay, so I chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and the first treble goes in that stitch right next to where my chain started, and I'm going into the top of the stitches. So there's like you can see the chain on the edges there, and I'm going underneath that chain, okay, to do my trebles. Okay, so remember when you do treble, yarn over. It's a treble because it's got 3 loops on the hook. So we're going all the way around, and this is what starts to give it its bobble hat shape, because we're not increasing on this round at all. We're doing exactly the same number of stitches as before. These would make fun little hats for toys as well, if you've got a little person in your life. Really good fun. Right, so over there, in the top of the all the way around. Ooh, can you hear the wind? Now we're going to join into the top again. So we joined around. Okay, so you can see how it's starting to, it fits on my little finger like that. Funny little hat shape. Now the next round we're going to increase. So we start our round again with our 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and the first treble into that same stitch again as in the last round. The pattern for this is on the website for you to have a look at, so don't worry if you can't quite follow the first time you look at this. So I've got 2 there, so in my next stitch I'm going to do 1 treble, and then in the next stitch I do 2 trebles. So this is my increase round. I'm going to have more stitches because I do 1 treble into the top of that stitch, and then the next stitch I do 2. So it's a pattern repeat of 1 treble, then 2 trebles, 1 treble, and 2 trebles all the way around. So you'll end up with 21 stitches. So we've had 12 stitches each round until now. This round, if you count the little tops of the stitches, you'll have 21. Doesn't matter if you have one more or one less, it doesn't matter. So we're just following round. 1, 2, and then the last one. And then we join into the top of the chain, which is the first stitch, join into the top of there, like that. Okay, so the next round we're going to do another increase, so this time we'll end up with 30 stitches by the end of it. So you can see how it's getting a little hat shape, egg shape, so it can fit over the egg. So we start a round with 3 chains. The first stitch goes into the same place as the chain, and then we do 1 treble, 2 trebles, see this tray I'm using has had lots of love and lots of use over the years. It's definitely been used for Kim's games, definitely been used for children's parties, and teapots. And I think it's been used for glittering things as well. I love a good wooden tray. Every mark on it tells a story, even if I can't remember the stories. Ooh, if the tray could talk. Right, so we're going around doing 1 and 2. Not really concentrating on my... This is a nice yellow. This is a good Eastery spring colour. Don't know if you can hear, but I can hear doves cooing outside. Definite sign of spring. Right, we're nearly there, nearly all the way around. Now if you've got small eggs, you can actually stop on this fourth row. I'll show you the difference in size when I've when I finish this one. I'm going to do one more round, but I can show you because I did one that was a little bit smaller. Depends on the size of eggs you've got. I think like the chocolate eggs that you buy, like cream eggs, are generally smaller than a hen's egg. But I've got some very old hens, so we end up with enormous, great big eggs. So I need some quite chunky ones. Right, it's okay, so that's 4, so you can see we've got a little bobble hat shape, look, isn't that cute? Okay, right, we've got one more round to go. Now this round we don't increase, so we're just doing 1 stitch in every single stitch going round, so we'll have 30 stitches again. So in the last round you were doing 1 stitch then 2, this you're just literally doing a treble going all the way around, and that really is all there is to it. Ooh, I mean, you can get more fancy. You can put a little edge on it. You could do it in 2 colours if you wanted. I think there's something quite nice about the simplicity of these actually. Not everything has to be complicated. Sometimes it's nice just to make a fun little quick make. They don't cost anything to make if you've got little bits of leftovers. Right, nearly there. It takes longer than you think to go around. Because when you first started you only had 12 stitches and I got 30. We're nearly there, look. Back to the beginning, so we'll join with a slip knot, a slip stitch, sorry, into the top of that stitch there, join it in, and then pull the loop through like that. And what did I do with my scissors? I moved them out of the way. I can't find them. Okay, and then we just snip it off, and that is your little hat shape made. So now it needs a pom-pom, and that's where the fork comes in. Now this is a really, really fun way of making a little pom-pom. Okay, really quick. You can, if you like really neat pom-poms, you can buy pom-poms, or you can make them with a pom-pom maker. But these are so tiny that actually a fork is just perfect. Okay, so I hold the fork in my left hand, and with my thumb hold it on there, and I'm just going to literally wrap around, probably about 50 times, round and round. Once you've got the first few, you don't need to hold it, look. So just keep going round, round and round. If you pull it quite tight, then it won't slide off the end of your fork, but you don't need to pull too tight. No, I'm not counting, so I don't know where I've got to. So that's probably about it, because it doesn't need very much. And actually I quite like scruffy pom-poms on these little hats. Don't think they need to be perfect. I like lots of things to be neat, but I don't mind with pom-poms. I think a homemade pom-pom, I like them when they look homemade. Okay, so I'm holding that with my thumb so all my yarn doesn't ping off, and then I'm going to thread the yarn in the middle bit of the fork, between the middle prongs of the fork, that side and that side. It's going to tie the middle of my pom-pom. So I'm just going to cut those bits off. Now if you've got somebody with you to help, it helps to tie this, because you can hold on to the knot in the middle of it. It doesn't matter if it's not too tight. Okay, so we tie a knot and tie it the other direction. It's too fiddly to hold the knot and really pull the knot tight. It doesn't matter too much, that'll be fine like that. Okay, so slide your pom-pom off your fork pom-pom, and then holding the 2 tails that you've just tied with. You don't want to snip through these, otherwise you'll end up with a whole lot of little bits of wool everywhere. So we're going to cut through the loops either side. And you need some good strong scissors, nice and sharp, not strong but sharp, to snip through. You get a little bit of Pom Pom magic really quickly. Just cut through those other loops, there we go. We'll like this colour. And then turn it over. And we're going to snip through this side. Okay, perfect. Give it a little bit of a tickle, a little bit of a rub to ruffle it up a bit. So although I don't mind a messy pom-pom, I don't like it when I have some really long bits like that. So I'll just snip those bits off there. And now the tails you can use to attach to your little bobble hat, little egg cozy. I'm going to thread it through my needle and then go down through the middle, that little hole in the top. That's one tail. Pull the needle off. And the other tail. And just make sure you don't go through the hole in the middle the second time, but go through a slightly different place, like that. I've got my two tails, so my pom-pom's attached to the top. Turn it inside out, and literally just tie my two ends together. And then we'll snip those ends off. Snip. Turn it back round. There's just one end to sew in. I'm not going to do that now. You don't need to watch me do that. Sew that in, and then we've got the perfect Easter egg cozy. So I think I've got half a dozen now, and they really haven't taken me very long at all. So I hope you enjoy the pattern and get some nice cozy eggs. Okay, and don't forget to enjoy nibbling some of the real chocolate ones as well. Okay, so here you can see the little tiny one in the middle. So that's where I stopped and did just the 4 rounds. So I didn't do the final round where I just carried on with 1 stitch in every stitch. So that's literally the first 2 rounds with no increases, and then 2 rounds of increases, and then stopped there. So you get a little smaller one. Okay, you can make them bigger as well if you wanted to. You can keep going. Have fun.